A very good afternoon from the Tamandaya Hockey Stadium, where it is day 4 of the 2022 Sultan of Johor Cup. And it will be match 10. We'll see India taking on Australia. But before we give you the information about the teams, let's take a look at the league standings at the moment after the first 3 days of competition. Well, Australia are still the only team unbeaten at the moment. Has been a little bit of a shake-up now as India move into second spot on 6 points, but South Africa are also there on 6 points. And so really big day for both of those teams. If they can get wins today, well, they will definitely, you feel, be in the running for the bronze medal match. Of course, trying to stop them will be Great Britain, Japan and Malaysia. Great Britain, well, they're the defending champions and they will want a win today more than anybody. They take on Malaysia and South Africa play Japan. So there are plenty of action coming your way, and it is going to be a day where we may get a better inkling as to who's going to be playing in the medal matches on Saturday. Turning our attention to the team lineups and the players I think you need to look out for today. Well, this is a must-win game for India, and I think Rajinder, wearing the number 78, he's going to be a key component. Really strong when he's running with the ball, and it's going to be him that is going to have an impact in the forward line. Uttam Singh, their captain, has had a really good tournament as well, leading from the front, come up with a couple of goals. Vishnukant, wearing 14 in the midfield, will also be an important player, along with Amandeep. And Sudeep Chamako, wearing number 9. Again, he's starting on the bench, but he is a lively player, manages to get the ball into the back of the net. And again, I think this will be a game where he will really show his worth to India. Turning our attention now to Australia, and you feel that India's going to go all out because they need to win this game. So Australia's defence is going to be really important. Jed Snowden and Ollie Higgins in goal. Well, they're going to have to marshal the players in front of them. And Cam Geddes will be one of those players, along with Connor Otterback, Nathan Zinner and David Hubbard. When it comes to scoring goals, well, Cooper Burns has scored a goal a game at least, and he's also had a hat-trick in the tournament. So, again, he'll want to be amongst the goals, but I'm sure that they would be happy to share them around if anybody else is in that position for Australia. They want to go through this tournament unbeaten. They want to continue their winning ways, and most of all, they want a victory over India. I'm Ashley Morrison, looking forward to sharing the action with you again today. We're hoping that there's no thunderstorms today. Unfortunately, when Australia played yesterday, the 1 hour delay, we actually had all the telecommunications went out in the area, not just in the stadium, in the whole area. And that is why we actually recorded the game. It is now up on YouTube, so you can catch that game in its entirety. And then I must say that everybody in the area worked really hard so that we would get everything back up so that we could give you the second 2 games. So, again, our thanks to the employees of the Johor Hockey Association who made that possible for Game 2 and Game 3. Certainly talking to some of the players yesterday, they were saying they'd never seen rain like that before in their lives. It sure did come bucketing down, and the pitch was absolutely underwater. But again, it drained superbly, and we were able to get on with things, albeit a little late. So hopefully today we shouldn't have any rain. It looks pretty good, the sky, but it is incredibly warm. It's 29 degrees at the moment. Says it feels like 34. And I can tell you the humidity is currently at 74%. It was as high as 77 a little bit earlier, but it is just dropping, which is good for the players. So the players just finishing their warm-up now, and then it will be time for them to line up. One last load of instructions from their 2 coaches. The coaches for India is, or the coach for India is C.R. Kumar, and of course he has plenty of experience. Did coach the Indian junior side many years ago, but wasn't there when they won the World Cup because he'd had to step up to the national team, and he was saying that he feels he's got some unfinished business and really would like to take this team or this group of players through to the World Cup in Kuala Lumpur next year. Coach of Australia is Jay Stacey, a man who had plenty of experience. 4 Olympic Games he went to in his playing career. Was also World Player of the Year back in 1999. So the 2 captains down below just exchanging pennants. And that will be a very special moment, I'm sure, for Connor Otterback. and also for Uttam Singh. Coin just been tossed in the air, and it looks like India have won the toss. Our umpires for this game are Eric Etzebeth from South Africa. He hails from Cape Town and actually went to Stellenbosch University. And Amarul Rashid from Malaysia. This is his first international tournament. Umpires for the Selangor Hockey Association in Kuala Lumpur. And so, obviously, big moment for him. And I'm sure it's a great moment too for Eric Etzebeth, who most of his umpiring has actually been done within South Africa or Africa. So a nice overseas trip for him. And certainly I think all the umpires have enjoyed the hospitality they've received here in Johor Bahru. As we wait for the players to come out, I can just acknowledge our sponsors again. Griffin, making an impact since 1983. Project Innovations, their in-house expertise adds value to consultants' designs, and they also assist in conducting value management and risk management workshops. They are a consultancy company providing project management services. And then we have Ong & Ong, design management and engineering, offering a 360-degree solution. And of course, we also have Grandwork Interiors, who are committed to improving people's quality of life by using health-friendly materials and ensuring their products demonstrate superior craftsmanship. Well, the announcer again is making sure he's heard today. We've not got a huge crowd in, and it seems whenever it's not so busy, he has to be on twice the volume and completely drowns out my own voice in my headphones. Well, the players making their way out now, and that means the action is not too far away. And this is going to be a really interesting game, I believe. Both these teams are currently the equal top scorers in the competition. Whether that means we're going to see goals, I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. So we are going to pause now for the national anthem, and first will be the national anthem of India, Jana Gana Mana. And now we'll have the national anthem of Australia, Advance Australia Fair. Well, the national anthem's completed now, and the play can get underway. And I was saying how there's not much to choose between these two teams. Well, in the last, going back to 1982 at under 21 level, from what I could find, they played 14 times. Australia's won 7, India's won 6, and there's been 1 draw. And if you want to look at the goals scored, Australia 33, India 34. Absolutely nothing to choose between these two teams. And this should be, therefore, a really tight match. Both of them the highest scorers currently in the competition. India have managed to spread their goals around just a little bit more. And India have actually conceded more than Australia. Australia just having conceded 3 goals so far in their opening 3 games here in Johor Bahru. India, on the other hand, have conceded 8. So India certainly having a long last-minute talk from their captain, Uttam Singh. They're in a huddle on the pitch. And now they finally break up. The Australian players already in position, ready to get going. Starting under the bar for India will be Ankit Malik. And for Australia, Jed Snowden gets the nod. So Jed Snowden, who I mentioned last time, went in goal. His brother and his dad, Hugh and Ian, respectively, being strikers. But his uncle, of course, was Neil Snowden, who went to 2 Olympic Games in 1984 and 1988 and played with the coach Jay Stacey in 88. Brodie Foster pushes back and gets us underway. He goes back to Josh Brooks. So there are some goalkeeping genes in the Snowden family. And no doubt Jed is hoping to follow in his uncle's footsteps. So it's Geddes now for Australia. Key thing, I think, for Australia here today is they mustn't get sucked into trying to play at the pace or the style that India like to play at. Jay Stacey will want them to play the structure that he has planned. Henderson, double back, goes to Brooks. Brooks was asking a little bit there of Toby Mallon, but Mallon, who is the second youngest player in the tournament, did well. And that one just a little bit too far ahead of Geddes. So India will get their first touch of the ball. Ball will come across to Rohit. Shardar is wide, but they go infield this time to Amandeep. 2 players with the Amandeep name. There's Amandeep Lakra and just Amandeep. Comes wide now to Shardar. Little flick of the wrists looking for Amandeep. Amandeep brings it down. Leaves it now for his captain, Uttam. Uttam to Amandeep again. Pressure being applied by Cooper Burns. Comes back to Shardar. Shardar saw the run on the far side, and that's been brought down well. Short pass to Vishnukant. Play to the baseline. Uttam's there. In he comes across the face of goal, and there is the opening goal. Tapped home by Bobby. So India take the lead with their first attack. And it was really good movement by them. Just 2 minutes gone. Vishnukant played the ball to Uttam. Uttam along the baseline. Drew the keeper. Bobby tap in. 1-0 India. And this will be the test for Australia now. First time they've been behind in the tournament. But a really well-crafted goal by India.
Goal for India, scored by player number 11, Bobby Singh.
Bobby Singh Dami only took up hockey when he moved to live with his uncle in Tanakpur. And that was a fortuitous move for him. He was then brought in as Australia shoot. Oh, there is the goal to come back. What a response by Liam Hart. Well, Hart has been amongst the goals. That's his 4th of the tournament, and it's the perfect reply by Australia. Less than a minute after India have scored, Australia have said, well, okay, we've given you one. We'll pull one back now. If this is the way things are going to be in this match, we could be in for quite a lot of goals. So India, their lead lasting less than a minute. So Australia showing that they are happy to match them. Losing possession there. Amandeep feeds it forward to Bobby Singh Dami. That's a good tackle inside the circle from the captain tonight, Otterbach from Victoria. Connor Otterbach, studying business at RMIT University. A mistrap that time at the back from Jay McDonald. We'll see possession go back to India. Hundal plays it in from the side, gave it to Rajinder, long corner to India. Amir will play this ball. Just telling the Australian player to get back the required distance. Amir looks to feed it to Bobby again, but I think that just caught his foot. I'm sure there's a little bit of relief on Jay McDonald's mind there. His mistrap obviously handing over possession to India. Cooper Burns. Now to Josh Brooks, back to Burns again. Burns didn't get it under control first time, and well, the umpire says that was a backstick. Burns doesn't agree, and I must admit from the angle I was, it didn't look like there was a backstick there, but let's just play on. Sharda with Brodie Foster ahead of him. Little push ahead, managing to find Ankit Pal. Strong challenge comes in, but good work being done by Angad Bir. That's a good pass as well by Australia, managing to find Jaden Atkinson. Atkinson in turn finds Holland. Holland just holds it up on the 23-metre line, plays it infield to Michael Doan. As Doan was trying to bring that down, he played it into the Indian player dangerously. Approaching the end of the first 5 minutes. Thrown long, and that is very long. Bobby manages to keep it in play. Well-timed tackle coming in from, well, no. Trent Sims has been penalised. I thought that was actually a very good tackle. The umpire a little bit closer to the action, felt otherwise. So India now with their first penalty corner of the match. And I must tell you all that they have got the best percentage from penalty corners of any team here. Their conversion rate currently at 54%. They've scored 6 penalty corners from 11 penalty corners awarded. So this will be a real test for Jed Snowden and his defenders alongside him. Sharda waits. Alongside Sharda is Amandeep Lakra. It goes to Sharda. Sharda flicks hard and low, goes straight into the first runner. Will be a reward. Good defence, though, initially by Australia. They've still got to defend again now to keep India at bay. Make his way to the baseline is Puvana. And Sharda and Amandeep Lakra swap. And now Sharda says, no, I'm coming back in. Mistrap that time, and there's a great chance for Australia as that's going to run straight through to Josh Brooks. Brooks has got ahead of him, Lambeth. Lambeth goes back to Brooks, mistrap by him this time, and now India will benefit from that. Ball played forward early that time by Angad Bir. Amandeep Lakra. And it's going to be free hit to David Hubbard. Good work by him. Plays for the Eastern Suburbs Club in Queensland, in Brisbane. Sorry, for a split second, my mind went blank. Hubbard again on the ball, originally from East London in South Africa. I'm sure he's looking forward to Australia's next game against the country of his birth. That's brought down well by Sims. Sims into the circle. Great pass to Holland. Holland makes no mistake, and Australia now have the lead. And Holland has his 3rd goal of the tournament. But it was a good run by Sims to set him up. So that's just the 6th minute, and we've got a 3rd goal. So it's raining goals here today. It was raining cats and dogs yesterday at this time. 5 minutes in, we abandoned everything for an hour before we could come back. Oh, you don't want to go anywhere at the moment. Lambeth has the ball again for Australia. Looks to take on Vishnukant. Vishnukant stood firm. Well, I think Vishnukant, to be honest, there is a little bit hard done by. I think it was the Australian player that was leaning into him, and he just stayed upright. Umpire saw it otherwise, but that's my take on it, for what it's worth. Nathan Zinner feeds it to Geddes. Geddes lays it back, trying to play the 1-2, but it goes harmlessly over the baseline. So now, the question is, how do India respond? They went behind against South Africa and came back and took a 3-1 lead. And it was only right at the death of that game they ended up going down 5-4. And that's not going to be able to be cleaned up at the back, so it will be a long corner to India. Rajinder over the ball for India. Self passes, likes to go on a run, plays it straight in, was looking for the touch to come from Uttam. It was a really good run by Uttam, the captain, into the circle. Good anticipation again from India, and in particular Emir. Penalty corner. So India applying the screws at the moment. They want to get back on level terms quickly. So their third penalty corner already. And I'm sure Jay Stacey will be saying we've got to eliminate the amount of penalty corners we concede, because with a 54% conversion rate, it's only a matter of time before India convert. So Vishnukant now strolls down to the baseline. Sharda waits, Rohit alongside him. Sharda now goes to the second battery, Rohit to the first. The whistle has gone. So it goes to Sharda. Oh, he makes absolutely no mistake. And that is a brilliant flick from Sharda. And he has pulled India level. And that is Sharda's fourth goal now of the tournament. Cooper Burns on 5, Cameron LaForester on 4, Hart now on 4, Sharda now on 4. And we're up to 55 goals, and this is the 10th match. So plenty of goals here at the Sultan of Johor Cup, and I think there's more in this game. Great run forward now coming from Chimarko. Chimarko, top of the circle, over the crossbar it goes. He is a live wire player. A very exciting player. Akashdeep Singh is, he says, his hero. He hails from Odisha, but Akashdeep, of course, from the Punjab. And Akashdeep, a very popular player here in Malaysia. Played in the Junior Asia Cup many years ago and was outstanding in that. It's going to be a long corner for Australia now. Henderson plays it early, top of the circle. And shielding the ball with his stick is the call from the umpire. So that one going against Jaden Atkinson. So we're all level again. And I said there was nothing to choose between these two teams when you look at it historically at this level. If we go back to the Junior World Cup in 1982, which was the furthest I went back, that was a 3-2 win for Australia. So just the one goal in it. Brodie Foster now looks to play that one in, but he caught it into the turf. And he's annoyed with himself about that as well. So Rohit now will play it out from the back for India. Amandeep. Vishnukant surrounded by Australian players, and he just maybe took his eye off the ball as it was played to him. Brooks now for Australia, plays it to Cooper Burns, who also seems to have a sea of blue players around him. And India, that's great skills to get out of a tight spot. Vishnukant feeds it forward. Rajinder now. Rajinder looking to feed it forward himself to Hundal. Hundal on the ball for India. Gets it back to Rajinder. Good defence in the end. And that was really good play by Brodie Foster, who's come back to help out his defence. Hundal, south passes, looks to advance towards the circle. Rajinder got the free hit. In he goes, slips as he gets inside the circle, and Australia let it run over the baseline. I think Rajinder was looking at the umpire more in hope than anything else. He knew that he just slipped. It looked like he just went on the side of his shoe. It's going to be another free hit to India. Just under 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Comes all the way back to Rohit. Puvana. Puvana wanting the ball back. Comes to Rohit. He'll play it wide now. Cyril Lagun. And that takes a deflection off Connor Otterbach's stick. Long corner for India. Amandeep just told to move it about a metre to the left-hand side. And good block by Brodie Foster. Stops the ball getting into the circle. Ankit Pal, the man, trying to sweep that one past him. Ankit Pal, who had the unique distinction of making his debut for India at the Junior World Cup last year. Hubbard now. And he's just got his bearings wrong there with the run from Australia just ahead of him. It was Lambert who made that run, and the ball just going behind him. Shardar now for India. Gets the ball back. There's not a lot of movement from India. Shardar loves the overhead pass. Snowden has to come out and uses his glove well to clear it out of the circle, and that's good from Brooks. Finding the foot of Puvana. I think the one thing that worries me a little bit about Shardar, what I've seen, is Sandeep Singh loved to throw the aerial pass, and just sometimes he throws it too high. It needs to be a little bit flatter to be effective, and he throws it also, we've seen in this tournament, a little bit too long at times. Certainly in the Hockey India League, Mark Knowles, who's one of the coaches of the Australian team, he was forever playing alongside Sandeep Singh and would tell him, no, Sandeep, no. And we would hear that in our effects microphones. Another good tackle at the back for Australia from Brooks. Turned over, though, in the middle of the field. We've got a minute and a half left. Cyril Lagun on the board. On the ball, rather. He turned his back there just as Rohit was about to hit the pass to him. Ankit Pal brings it down. That's a rather clumsy tackle from Michael Dowen. Goes forward and into Angad Bir. Otterbach now. Up the side it goes from Hubbard. Lagun. Ankit Pal. Good pass out to the left-hand side, but Australia shifting well. Puvana now to Cyril Lagun. Wanted the ball thrown forward, but Lagun went back into the defensive line. Puvana offers the square ball. Now again we see it thrown long. Cut out superbly in defence by Jay McDonald. Watched it all the way onto his stick. He had to. And Australia get the free hit on the far side. Otterbach will probably throw this to the air just to clear the danger. And he throws it not only in the air but out of play. And that will be the final play of the first quarter. But what a first quarter it's been. With just the second minute, Bobby gave India the lead. Liam Hart equalised. Then Jack Holland gave Australia the lead before Sharda equalised from a penalty corner. So at the first break, it's India 2, Australia 2. Well, India are already back out, ready to get the second quarter underway. Australia breaking up now and making their way out. I can just tell you that India are rotating their goalkeepers quarter by quarter. So Mohit has come on, the 20-year-old from Karnataka. Played in the FIH's Fives tournament in Lausanne. The invitational tournament that was a promotion for the new format of the game. Doan surrounded, but was very aware of that. Managed to get the ball back to Nathan Zinner quickly. Hubbard tried to deflect it forward, but it went to Amandeep. Rajinder now for India. Back to Amandeep. And Amandeep ran down a dead end there. And it's picked up by Hart. Hart again stays calm. Sees Australia retain possession. And that quarter-time break just flew by. Mark Knowles, one of the assistant coaches, over to our right-hand side, shouting his instructions from high in the stand. And that was just a little bit narrow from Hubbard that time. Amandeep Lakra was trying to steal a metre or two. Was sent back by umpire Amarul Rashid. Vishnukant. Well, Henderson thought that he'd got the ball away that time, but the whistle came just after. Liam Henderson, a product of Trinity Grammar School in Melbourne. Along the baseline, good run by India, trying to find the foot. Laid back that time by Hundal. It's going to come to Hundal again. That's a very important touch by Doan. Lifting it in the air, but brought down by Amandeep Lakra. Lakra feeds it down the line now. Bobby, lovely little swish from him into the pads, and it ricocheted back straight to Hundal, but unfortunately for him, into his foot and not his stick. Bobby is an exciting player. Doan again. Vishnukant will be the player penalised. McDonald over the ball for Australia. Goes to the air, but should be easy pickings in the end for Amandeep Lakra. And Jake Lambert just going in that 5 metres, so conceding a free hit, but Australia now dropping back. Sharda finds Vishnukant. Good pass to Rajinder. Nathan Zinner stepping out, closing down the space for Rajinder, but Rajinder there now. Gets a touch, it's going to dribble in. And that is another goal for India, so they've stolen the lead back. And this time it is Hundal who gets the touch. I'm not sure he knew too much about it, to be honest. It came in at fair pace, and he just tried to get something on it. And that wrong-footed Jed Snowden, and the ball just dribbled over the goal line. So now it is India 3, Australia 2. Hundal, who went to the Maharaja Ranjit Singh Hockey Academy in Butala.
Goal for India, scored by player number 19, Hundal.
In fact, Hundal was a player who said that he remembers as a 12-year-old watching India win the Junior World Cup in Lucknow. And he said it had a huge impact on him. And I'm sure some of those players wouldn't have realised how far-reaching that victory would be. Jamarco, good pass by him. Shot on the turn, Snowden saves, it comes down in a penalty corner. Came down into a crowded area, so fourth penalty corner now for India. And certainly the opening stanza of this second quarter has been predominantly all India. Certainly you would feel Australia do not want to concede now. Puvana goes to the baseline. Shardar again at the second battery. Just has a word with his stopper, Ankit Pal. Rohit at the first. And this time they go to Rohit. Rohit flicks it hard low. It goes into the first runner. Ricochets out. Snowden's come a long way. Shot on the turn is a good one, but good save from Snowden to deny Chamarko. Australia, though, now get the chance to break through Lambert. Lambert runs at the defence. Great pass. Holland, can he keep it in? It's Stroke. The keeper just catching Holland. And a yellow card as well for Mohit. Well, is it Mohit or is it one of the other players in front of him? Well, it was a good pass from Lambert to Holland. It is Mohit who's picked up the yellow card. So back onto the pitch comes the other goalkeeper, Ankit Malik, and he has to deny Brooks. Brooks already scored one penalty stroke in the tournament. Gets the chance now to try and pull Australia level. Australian players already back in their own half. They're confident. And Brooks gets it. Malik tried to fool him. And Brooks gets Australia level at 3 apiece. Just 4 minutes gone in the second quarter. It really is raining goals here at the Tamandaya Hockey Stadium. I thought this was going to be a fairly tight affair, but I'm sure both coaches are probably tearing their hair out at the moment, the amount of goals that are being scored. If we carry on at this rate, we could be in double figures by the end. Uttam, good pass by him, but it came up off the Indian player's stick that time. Trent Sims, who has an Indian connection, his grandfather hails from India, Marcus, who was a boxer and a hockey player back there. And in fact, his uncle was born in India, but his father, Nigel, was born in Australia when the family moved to Australia. But I think he's still very close to, or very proud of his Indian roots through his grandfather. And that's a missed trap. So it's amazing how sport can throw up all these connections between all these countries. Players with South African connections and Indian connections playing for Australia. And it just makes it all the more special when they come up against those countries. Makes the memories that much greater. Amandeep Lakra to Cyril Lagun. Sharda, again, a flick of the wrist. Look how high that's gone. And as I said, it hit the top bit of the fencing. And that's where I just think he needs to be reined in and limited how much he does that, because he's just not effective with it. And it's given possession to Australia, although Doan unable to connect that. And a lot of the players saying this pitch is just a little bit bobbly, and that's why there's so many missed traps. I mean, obviously, this is the cream of the under-21 players from their various countries, so you maybe wouldn't expect so many missed traps. But new turf here in Tamandar Hockey Stadium, and I believe it's just not quite settled yet. Vishnukant plays it forward. That was really determined defending from Hubbard. Atkinson now goes to Otterback. Geddes, and Otterback will just slowly shift it forward. That's thrown high and long. And in the end, the decision goes the way of Amandeep Lakra. Both players were running into the space, so decision going in favour of the defender. Vishnukant to Lakra again. Well, Hubbard missed that one, and Bobby, well, luckily for Australia, scuffed that as he played it into the circle. Brooks now has the chance to clear for Australia. Faced with Rajinder. Rajinder forcing him back towards the corner flag. Brooks, though, shown the line and decides to take that passage. 3 Indians in pursuit. He plays the ball infield. Lakra's stolen it back now. Amandeep. Burns trying to stop Amandeep. Bobby's gone to the baseline. Bobby gets the pass from Amandeep. And he'll win a long corner for India. Again, we're just waiting for the ball to come on. Amandeep, short pass to Rajinder, tries to play it first time, and it goes into the shins of Josh Brooks. Brooks, the sole Tasmanian in the side here. And that's a great steal. And a mistrap as Australia looked to get on with it. Hart was trying to turn with the ball, and it just ran off his stick. Now it's Amandeep Lakra. Hundal just coming on. Cyril Lagun receives the ball. Hundal's down the line if he wants him. Sharda, will he go to the air again? No, he's going to go back to Lakra once more. I'm sure he's getting those itchy wrists where he wants to throw it long. Is this going to be it? No, he's still showing a little bit of discipline, which is good. Lakra. He goes high this time. And the decision goes the way of Australia. Angad Bir wasn't underneath the ball. Doan was, and he came into that space. So just over under 5.5 minutes left in the first half. All tied up at 3 apiece. Sharda goes infield to Vishnukant. Vishnukant really ran into trouble, but he did well to get the better of Lambert. Vishnukant still going, and he's drawn the foul. Comes to Rohit, not sure what the delay was there. Cyril Lagun now angles that. It ricocheted off Otterback's stick and it'll go out over the side, but India getting the last touch. So Geddes now. In front of Geddes, though, is Hundal. Shardap brings it down. Vishnukant again, a little bit of space. This time he feeds the ball forward. Amir. Hundal. First player took the sting off it before Otterback collected inside the circle. Lambert now. It's going to be closed down.